So adorable, and they're so different. Like,
yeah, you're not kidding.
It is Hug Your Kid Day. Should you start now? Maybe you'll be
Probably
finished by dinner time.
Yeah, that's the goal. Yeah, we'll just start. It's your kid, by the way. Also, right? It's not National Hug a Kid Day.
Your kid. That might be creepy.
Yes,
so
agreed.
We're not.
The Hometown Morning Show with Tori and Kyle. Santa Clarita's best morning show. 98.1 FM and AM 1220.
It is 8:40, almost 8:41 on your hometown station, KHTS, the Hometown Morning Show with Tori and Kyle. And we're very excited this morning to welcome Melissa Giller from the Ronald Reagan Library. She is the Chief Marketing Officer, and there is a new exhibit at the Ronald Reagan Library. I just saw the commercials over the weekend, and I was so excited. And Melissa, I hope you're here to tell us all about this new exhibit. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks so much for having me on.
Absolutely. So tell us all about, because the last time I was at the Ronald Reagan Library was for the Titanic. And that was amazing. I mean, just knowing some of the stuff that was on display had been underwater for so many years, and here it was, intact. It was amazing. It was amazing. So what do you have for us now?
It's an interesting tie-in that you mentioned Titanic. We normally rent our exhibitions that we bring in, but Titanic was self-curated, and so is our current exhibition, FBI, from Al Capone to Al-Qaeda. And why I like us when the library self-curates is because the team does such a phenomenal job of bringing in the most extraordinary artifacts. So it's an 11,000 square foot exhibition that tells the story of the FBI through some of its biggest cases. So we talk about Bonnie and Clyde. We have the actual car they were killed in and the shirt he was wearing when he was killed. We talk about the infamous Alcatraz escape, and we have the rafts and pedals they used to escape. We have all the tools they used to dig the hole out of their cell so they could escape. We talk about the mobsters, Bugsy Siegel and Pretty Boy Floyd and Creepy Carpus, and we have their guns, their death masks, their FBI identification orders, which is basically like their most wanted posters. And it goes on and on from 9/11. This year is the 20th anniversary. And we talk about the case and how the FBI was involved, but we have 2 pieces of the jet engine that crashed into the South Tower, as well as a piece of the landing gear. We have, unfortunately, amongst us, 3,000 people who died. One was an FBI agent, and we have his jacket. We talk about J. Edgar Hoover, who was really instrumental in beginning the FBI. The Beltway sniper case, if you remember back in 2002, I believe, out in Washington, D.C. in the Maryland area. People were getting killed at random. It turned out that there were 2 people hiding in a car shooting out of a hole from a license plate. We have the actual car they were shooting people from. But it's not just grisly cases. It's really the stories behind it. We interviewed about a dozen FBI agents, and they tell their story of how they were involved and what makes the case. So it's entertaining but very educational as well.
This comes at a fantastic time because so many people, I have so many friends who are so into the true crime podcasts, and this is just something, their eyes are going to go wide open and say, what is happening? As I did when I saw the commercial, I was like, what? So
it's we because we got to talk to the FBI agents, you really get to hear some of that true crime information that you're talking about. We interviewed the arresting FBI officer who arrested the Unabomber, Ted Kaczynski, and he tells the whole story about how he was captured. There were 2,617 suspects in the Unabomber case, and Ted Kaczynski was number 2,616. And we have the actual manifesto he wrote. We have one of the bombs that was found in his cabin that hadn't detonated. And just, again, case after case after case. The jacket that Patty Hearst wore when she robbed the bank in San Francisco. Like I said, over 300 artifacts. It's truly fascinating.
It sounds amazing. And you know, here's the thing. Anytime I've ever been to the library, you never disappoint. I mean, it's just, it's so, it's just an afternoon of just, it's educational, but it's so much fun and fascinating. It's just fascinating. Sometimes I find myself looking at an artifact, especially during Titanic. I was like staring at the dishes, and I don't know why I was there for like 5 minutes staring at the dishes going, wow, these actual things were on, were on this,
right. I did the same thing.
And so talking about the Bonnie and Clyde car, when, with all the, what does it have? Like all the bullet holes. It must have, it's just like, right?
167 bullet holes in the car, and the coroner's report said that 17 hit Clyde and 24 hit Bonnie. It's extraordinary.
Fascinating. I would probably stand at the car for another 20 minutes. How do we get tickets? How do we come? How do we do this?
Yeah. So you simply go to ReaganLibrary.com. There's a Get Tickets button on that front page. There's learn more about the FBI on that front page. And when you purchase tickets, it gets your entrance to everything. So not only are you seeing FBI, but you're touring the whole Reagan Museum. You're walking on board an actual Air Force One airplane and a Marine One helicopter. You get to see our brand new F-117 stealth fighter jet and our new M1 mainline battle tank. Our new cafe is open, so it really is a full day's experience.
It is a full day, and it never disappoints. Absolutely fun stuff here, and so timely, so relevant to what everybody's into right now, Melissa, thank you so much. Melissa Giller from the Ronald Reagan Library. Make sure you check out this new exhibit. It truly is going to be fascinating. If you just saw the commercials on TV that I saw, I was already hooked. So get your tickets. How long is this going to run for?
It runs 6 months, so it's through January 9th, so you definitely have time, but it's not one you want to miss.
No, absolutely. You do not want to miss it. Melissa, have a great rest of your week. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Hometown Morning Show with Tori and Kyle.
Thanks for having me.